Hey guys!
Alright guys, we're here today to check out the Patreon poll winner of the week. And again, Alestorm wins.
Yeah.
I think this is the second or the third. I think it's the second, because I think this is the third single that they release. Man, this might be the third single that they release, and the third single we throw up on Patreon, and the third single... Everyone. Yeah, it's sinking all the battleships around it.
All their cannons are just firing off.
They're firing on all cylinders,
yeah.
I would say. Yeah, it's just incredible. I know for sure it's at least the second, but I'm starting to think that this might be actually the third single and the third video that goes on Patreon, the third video that wins Patreon Poll of the Week. Which, if that's the case, I think that's some sort of a record.
Yeah.
You know. So, but before we get started on this, I already heard the song because I already heard the album.
I haven't.
You haven't, and I haven't seen the video. So I don't know what we're getting ourselves into with the video. But I just want to let the folks know at home that I already heard the album. I already pre-recorded an album review. There's a couple of tracks that I showed you from the album. We can't talk much about it because they're not out yet.
Yeah.
But based on you haven't heard this one, but based on what you've heard so far of the album, what's your take?
Oh, of the ones you've
yeah.
The one we listened to.
Okay, we can't talk about it because it's not. People don't know.
That's that one.
Yeah, I know. What do you think? It's a winner.
It's a winner.
Yeah, I think that song has to be on their set list.
We're just like
we're just teasing.
Yeah, we're just poking them with a stick.
Yeah, we're teasing. We're like
we're
simmering.
That song is absolutely amazing.
It is. To me, it's to this album what fucked with an anchor was to that record. So I honestly think that song is going to be an absolute hit. It's just fun. That song is amazing.
And once that song gets anything like a lyric video.
Oh, it doesn't matter. We gotta check it out.
We gotta check it out.
Well, but beyond that song, the whole album. I don't want to ruin the album review, but I really like the album. It's a really cool album. It's really good. It's filled with hits. I honestly feel like this record, they're gonna be able to pull a lot of songs into the set list, not just from the first tour once they go back on the road,
it's just a fun
but
album.
even to continue beyond that. I think there's going to be a lot of songs from this album that are going to stay on the set list. But anyways, Fannybaws is the latest. Alestorm, let's do this.
Of the greatest man who ever sailed the sea. Woah-oh! Fae Scotland's bonny shores, he pillaged across the ocean in search of rum galore. Woah-oh! Aboard the good ship Scum, he'd fire a mighty blast from the 16-pounder gun. Woah-oh! His legendary crew could sail that ship to hell and back, there's nothing they can't do. He killed the mighty Terrorsquid, the greatest man who ever lived. He beat the Vikings in a bloody war. Meet your dad and smell your maw. Fannybaws, he's a fearsome pirate. Fannybaws, he's the scourge of the seas. Fannybaws, with the black flag flying, plundering, pillaging, spreading disease. Fannybaws, he's a fearsome pirate. Fannybaws, he's the scourge of the seas. Fannybaws, with the black flag flying, bringing his foes to their knees. Fannybaws. Whoa! In Oban he was raised. He drank a bucket full of rum every single day. Whoa! His beard of flaming red would terrorize his enemies and make them wish they're dead. Whoa! 4 pistols on his belt. He went to battle naked, wearing just a tiger's pelt. Whoa! His name was Fannybaws. Now hard to east Jack Lake it cunt, or else he'll pump your maw. Fannybaws, he's a fearsome pirate. Fannybaws, he's the scourge of the seas. Fannybaws, with the black flag flying, plundering, pillaging, spreading disease. Fannybaws, he's a fearsome pirate.
I'm gonna say this. Of all the 3 singles that they released to me, this is my favorite one of the 3 singles.
Oh, for me, it's still the first one we did.
Oh, still the first one?
Yeah. Out of the singles,
first one is super catchy.
Yeah.
It's super catchy.
Out of the singles that have been released so far, that one.
Believe it or not, okay, before we get started on a tangent here and we go on other stuff, I want to ask you, by the way, the guy playing Fannybaws looks like the dude from Lord of the Rings. I think his name is Peter Dinklage.
I think you're just...
you think I'm being...
I don't know what's the racist term for dwarves.
You know, you're supposed to call them little people.
I don't think... No.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know.
I think the racist term is the term you just
used.
No,
the racist term is...
something else?
The other word.
Okay, so it's the M word?
It's the M word.
Okay, the M word. All right. Anyways, it looked like Peter Dinklage. I mean, I'm not saying just because all small people look alike.
But
that's not what I'm implying, though. But it actually looked like him. I don't know if it's him or not. I don't have any information whatsoever on if that's the case. And I'm not trying to say that they all look alike. That's not what I'm trying to say.
Digging yourself a hole, man.
I know. Okay, well, this is not Windrose.
But he had a good beard.
He did have a good beard. All right. Because, for example, he didn't look like... what's the one from wrestling?
Hornswoggle.
Yeah, he didn't look like Hornswoggle, so it's not like they all look alike.
Hornswoggle's different.
Yeah, exactly. Anyways... but this looks like he was a Scottish. He's a Scottish pirate. Hornswoggle is Irish, so there's always that difference there. But anyways, I don't want to dig myself a deeper hole. This is not Windrose. What are your thoughts on this song?
That's actually the first thing that came to mind when I saw him.
What
was Windrose?
Windrose?
Yeah.
All right. So we try not to dig a hole, but somehow I feel like we're getting deeper and deeper by the second. So, anyways, what are your thoughts on this track?
Very, very catchy. I mean, all Alestorm songs tend to be very catchy, but I love that I think it was the violin. Like, I love that because it just kind of brought more folkiness into the song, and I just love that about it. And obviously, I mean, they're telling the great story about Fannybaws. So,
and when you look at him, he doesn't look like he's that mighty. But
he doesn't look in the first scene where you kind of see him and they're behind him singing.
I know he's sitting on the table. He looks like they're all at the same height.
Yeah,
I think that was on purpose.
And then
I think that's the whole thing.
He was walking to his crew. I'm like, is his crew farther away or is he just getting shorter?
I think that a whole thing was planned.
Yeah.
All right, I think that whole thing was planned. So let me say this. Having heard the album already, you heard only a couple of tracks. I didn't play you this one because I knew that this was winning the Patreon poll of the week, so I didn't want you to listen to the song ahead of time. So anyways, but I've showed you, I think, maybe 1 or 2 songs outside of the singles.
Yeah.
Outside of the singles. But having heard the whole album, I really like this record. It's really eclectic. There's a little bit of everything there. But I like the fact that they incorporate a lot of the violin, even hurdy-gurdy in the album, so it gives the album a little bit more of a folk content. Not on every song, but in some songs you get that more of a folk vibe into their style. And I think
some songs it's more of a party vibe.
Yeah, this album has a little bit of everything. You know what I mean? It has a little bit of like the first single, which is more like of a party atmosphere. Then there's some songs that are more like power metal driven, like with fast guitar riffs. There's a little bit more of a tempo to it. Then there's party ones like this one that includes a little bit of a folk element to it. So there's a little bit of everything on this record. It really is. But I think the record is consistently good from the top to the bottom, and it has. To me, it has all the trademark Alestorm elements. Yeah. You know what I mean? It has pirate tales, stories of pirates and stuff related to pirates, right? Drinking songs, right? It has great guitar riffs. Some of them like pretty heavy, actually. Like some songs get a little bit like extra bite on the guitars.
Amazing folkish pirate melodies.
Exactly, and they have some guest appearances. The lead singer from Fintroll, he does some vocals on one of the songs as well. So there's a little bit of everything on this record, and I feel like the record is really eclectic but really complete at the same time, and it doesn't lose, which is really important, it doesn't lose the Alestorm personality. When you listen to this album, it doesn't matter where the song takes you, you know you're listening to an Alestorm album. And some of the songs are so hooky, are so catchy. The one that
yeah,
we can't say too much about it, but that song, because it's
when
not
the
out
album
yet.
Comes out, everyone will know what we're talking
Everybody
about.
will know what we're talking about. That song is so catchy. It's short too. It's the shortest song on the album. It's just a little bit over the 1 minute mark.
Yeah.
So if, the track listing is out there. You guys can go check which song is just over the 1 minute. I think it's 1 minute and 20 seconds, something like that. that song, if that song is not on the set list, I'll be shocked.
Yeah.
Because that's a must. That's a must. But that's not the only one.
That's the way you have to open up your show.
Ooh. No. I think it needs to come at least halfway through the show.
Okay.
Halfway through the show.
Halfway.
Like, yeah, because maybe you're a little bit upset the crowd is not giving you what you need. And then you throw that one in there to get...
That one fucked with an anchor will really pick up the mood of the crowd.
Exactly, and then you can continue on. But I feel like the record is filled with new hits from Alestorm. It really is, in my opinion. And I really feel like listening to the album already that I believe that when they go back out on the road, obviously they're going to play songs from the new album because they have to support the new album. But I really feel like this album is going to leave them with a lot of problems in terms of creating future set lists when future albums come out. Because this album has a lot of great tracks that you want to hear live. Because they're fun. They're your trademark Alestorm party drinking fun tracks.
Yeah.
And they're hooky as hell. Like you just want to sing along. You just want to sing with the band. So I honestly... and another thing that I need to say is this. I wasn't a big fan of Tortuga. When
I was about to say, you were forgetting the ski-masked rapper in Tortuga.
Well, that's another guest appearance. There's another appearance on the record. I can't remember now who it is, but not singing, but playing instruments.
Yeah.
So anyway, there's a few guest appearances. What I was going to say about Tortuga is this. When we did the video from Tortuga, I liked the song. But I preferred the first single over Tortuga. And I actually, this to me, maybe because it's the one that's more recent in my memory, I prefer this over the last two. Having said that, the three singles are not even my favorite songs on the album. To me, the album has actually better songs than the ones that they chose as the singles, which is almost always the case. I don't know why bands always pick songs and then they actually end up with better songs on the album than the ones that...
Show us your best.
I agree. So to me, there's actually better songs. But what I was going to say about Tortuga is this. While we did the video for Tortuga, I liked the song. Yeah. But it wasn't like... I wasn't blown away.
It wasn't going to get stuck in my head.
No,
the first one is still stuck in my head.
No, the first one was super hooky, right? Super hooky, super catchy.
Head.
So Tortuga for me was a little bit not disappointing, but it didn't deliver what I was expecting it
to come after the first one.
Exactly.
If Tortuga was the first one and that one came after, then maybe.
But I think the order is perfect because you hit us with that first single. Tortuga kind of, it's okay, and then now this one brings everything back up again. But what I was going to say is this. Tortuga, when you listen to the album in order...
Is that the only...
No, I like it in the album. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, when you listen to the album and you hit...
It makes sense.
It makes sense because there's songs before that work well, like in the construction of the record, in the way the track listing is set together. When you listen to the album in order, it sounds like a different song. It not even sounded to me like it was the same song. So I liked it on the album setting.
But when you're listening to it by itself, then...
When I heard it first as a single, I liked it, but it was not like I wasn't blown away.
But when you listen to it fully with the album...
Oh, it was great.
Oh.
It was great. I thought going in, when I listened to the album, that's going to be the song that I'm going to skip. Maybe. You know what I mean? Because I was kind of like, I like it, but I wasn't 100% sold. When I was listening to the album, I was like, wow. It doesn't even sound like the same song. I like it because it has the perfect songs before and then it gives you the perfect songs after. So it's placed in the right spot that gives you a little bit of a break from all the craziness that's going on. It gives you a little bit of a break. So on the album setting Tortuga, I'm betting you any money. People who didn't like that song, when you listen to the album, you're gonna like it. Your mind is gonna change about Tortuga. You'll see. Okay. All right. Are you good?
Yeah.
All right, I think we cover everything. On that note, come back tomorrow. We'll have more videos for you. See you guys.
See ya.